Okay, well, here we are on YouTube Live. This is a first for me. Haven't done this yet. Haven't done a live hit yet. But I thought it might be fun to just see if I could actually get in touch with Passport Canada today. So here's the story as it stands right now. So I have two kids. I sent in passport applications for them both. I think towards about the end of January. Um, Yesterday I picked the passports up from the post office. So after about 2 months is when the after about 2 months is when the passports arrived. So that took a little bit longer than it would have taken, under other circumstances. But that's okay. We got to give them, we got to give, so my camera would focus. We got to give Passport Canada a little bit of leeway here. Although I don't know why, because it's been 2 years since the pandemic started, and you think that they'd be able to have their stuff together by now. But that's beside the point. So what happened was I sent in both of my kids' applications in one envelope, which I thought would be fine. I didn't see any reason not to do that because it cost about $20 to get them sent by Canada Post Express Post to the passport office in Ottawa or Laval or wherever it was. I can't remember at the moment. But anyway, so they arrived the next day, and I heard nothing from Passport Canada for months. Then on last Friday, so I'm going to say about 2 months after the applications were confirmed to have arrived, because I sent them, as I said, via express post, and somebody at the passport office signed for them. I get their birth certificates back in the mail in a separate envelope and a visa receipt saying they've charged me for the passports. Great. I think the passports are on their way. No problem. Monday morning, the postal carrier comes to my door and leaves the notifications that the passports have been delivered to the post office. That's great. Very secure. I'll go and pick them up. So Tuesday morning, I walk over to the post office and grab the passports and head home, and then I open them right away. And that's when I discovered the problem, because they put the picture of my older son on my younger son's passport and the picture of my younger son on my older son's passport. So if you imagine all the information is correct, just the photos are backwards, right? So older kids' information with younger kids' picture. I was kind of annoyed by that, because I would have thought that the process for checking was a bit more secure. And also, I think the guarantor has to write the name of the child on the back of the photo and then include it with the application. Now, I was very thorough and fastidious when I was filling out the application and when I was sending all the documentation, because I knew that it would take a long time to get the passport. So my family and I are planning a vacation in August to overseas, so we have to make sure that we have all our travel documents set. So I don't think I made any mistakes. The guarantor who signed the pictures knows what my kids look like. He's known them their whole lives. And so I think the mistake was with Passport Canada, but I'm not condemning anybody for making a mistake. That's, these things happen. What I am condemning them for, however, is the fact that I can't get in touch with them through any means. This is the second straight day I've tried. I know maybe I'm taking it a bit extreme by streaming my attempts to get in contact with them, but I tried to reach out on Twitter. I tried to call them all day yesterday. I did get connected to them once. I got connected to them once, and the voice on the other end of the phone said I was the 30th person in line. And I had some stuff going on, like, fortunately I work from home, so I can sit on the phone all day if I need to, but I'm mostly just thinking about other people who don't have the luxury of being able to sit at home on hold with the government for, I don't know, hours probably, and try to fix a mistake in a critical piece of identification. So I've been trying today already. I'm going to show you my call log from my phone here. I will just hold it up like this to hopefully block any of the other. Oh, nope, that's not right. Anyway, I have tried to call them 8 times today. 8 times. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the Passport Canada number now. This is the number that they give you when you get your passports, and they say, like, contact us immediately if there's any mistake. So let's see what they have for us today for right now. It's on speaker, by the way. It's not even ringing. still waiting to even connect the call. In case you don't believe me. That's the number. That's the number that they give you. So the call failed. I don't think that's my phone carrier because I've been able to make and receive other calls today. I think they're just that busy. I'm gonna call back one more time.
Try again later.
Okay, the person that I'm calling isn't taking calls at the moment. Okay, so, all right, maybe there's other ways to reach out to them. So I sent them a message on Twitter yesterday saying, like, I don't know what to do. There's no information on what to do if there's a mistake in your passport. But they didn't respond. And I sent them a message this morning. What time is it? It's about 10 after 9 Mountain Time when I'm calling. So it's, middle of the morning in Ottawa, where I assume these calls are being answered. Maybe it's Winnipeg. I don't know. Or wherever their communications team are. It could be anywhere in Canada. It could be anywhere in the world. I don't know. But I've gotten no response so far. And so why don't I will show you too what they've got. Here you go. This is the little pamphlet that they send you when you get your passport in the mail. And so that's great. Here's the, information, important tips for your passport. And the very first thing that they tell you to do when you receive your new passport is, I don't know if you can see, the light's a little bad in here. Let me see if I can turn this light on for the camera. Does that help? Maybe it's too low. Let me raise it up. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it. The first thing it says is sign it. Sign your name in ink. Sorry, that is not the first thing. The first thing it says is check it. Make sure the personal information in your new passport is correct. Well, the passports that I got, not correct. So what do I do, Passport Canada? Contact us immediately if you find an error. An error in your passport can make it difficult for you to travel. Well, I would hope so, that an error in my passport would make it difficult for me to travel. I have not ever had an error in any of my passports. I've never seen anything like this before. So I'm very curious to see how they want me to contact them. So my next step was to just kind of find out, maybe there's a number that I can call. When I got through yesterday, when the phone actually connected to Passport Canada, this was probably mid-afternoon yesterday. There wasn't an option on the menu. It was press 1 to report your passport lost and stolen, press 2 for general questions. There was no option for, press 1 for there's a mistake in your passport. So I don't even really know what to do. So I thought, I've got the Passport Canada website up here, and I thought we'd go through it together to see if we can find anything. I'm going to call them for the 11th time just right now and see if I can get through, just in the interest of fairness. Oh, I'll show you. Calling. Right, calling. Yeah.
The person you are calling isn't taking calls at the moment. Please try again later.
The first time I called this morning, it actually gave me what sounded like a really, really old message from the 80s or whatever, where it said at the end it said, "This is a recording." So that really old message. Okay, so here we are on the Passport Canada website. Let's see if there's a way. I don't see any contact information here. I can follow them on Facebook and Twitter, but that doesn't really help me at the moment because I am following them on. Oh, there's a chat window. Oh, I love virtual assistants. They're so useless. Okay, let's see. What are proof? You can't see. Let me I'll move my face out of the way so you can read the virtual assistant. I'll just put myself up here for the moment. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm a Canadian citizen who currently lives in Canada. I am that, and so are my children. So that's great. Thank you for contacting Service Canada. Okay. I'm not directly affected by any floods right now, fortunately for me. Please select frequently asked questions. What are proof of vaccination credentials? Is there anything else I made? Well, I didn't get a chance to read it all. Yes, I have additional questions. Okay. How do I apply for a new passport or renew? Nope. What are required documents? Nope. Processing times? Nope. Status? Nope. What are the fees? Nope. What is the nearest passport office? I know that. Additional topics. Okay, let's see what it says. Passport for information guarantors, entry requirements, information on lost, stolen, or damaged passport, previous topics. So none of these things. Okay, what if I just click that? Oh, so if my passport is lost or stolen, I also have to call them at the same number that I've been trying to call them at. Offices are available Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so I'm within that call window. So there's no reason for that not to work. Authorities will investigate the circumstances. Okay, well, this is not helpful information because I am not. Yes, I have additional questions because my passports aren't lost and stolen; they're just wrong. None of these work. Okay, so there, as you can see, the virtual assistant is totally useless for my particular circumstance. So I gave it a try. They're not helpful. So let's find out now what if I can. I'm gonna just do like a F error. No matches. Okay. Mistake. We can report a mistake on this page. No. So what does the pamphlet say? The pamphlet says, okay, error in your passport. So error is the language that they use when there's a mistake. So error. No. Okay. All right, let's poke around the website a bit more and see. Again, in the interest of fairness, I'm going to pop on the call one more time and see if I can get a hold of them. This will be the 12th time that I've tried to call them today. Still waiting.
We're sorry. Your call did not go through. Will you please hang up and try your call again? This is a recording.
That's the older one I was telling you about. Doesn't that sound like, it even sounds like a mid-Atlantic accent, like some actress from the 40s recorded that message. Please hang up and try your call again. So, okay, that's the 13th time today I've tried to call them. Now, some people may think this is a little excessive, just give them a chance to do whatever, but there's about 38 million people that live in Canada, and even if like a quarter of them need help with their passport, you would think that they could have a volume of support that could, easily sort this out. I guess the other question is, like, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish? Well, I just want to know what to do. I just want to know if I have to reapply for the passports. They obviously need to be canceled because they're incorrect. So I need them to cancel the validity of the passport. I need to know what to do with the physical passports, if they want them returned to them or not, because they've made an error. And I need to know what the process is for getting replacements for my kids' passports. So I just don't know, what the process is. This has never happened to me before, and there's no information online about what to do. Like, there's copious amounts of information if you've lost or stolen your passport, so that's pretty clear. But the bottom line is, any question you have to basically call them and find out. And what I've been trying to do for the last 2 days is get in touch with them, and I can't do that. So let's have a poke around the website and see if we can find anything. Okay. So yeah, they're experiencing high call volumes right now. Okay, let's see. Document services are available, including how to contact us. Oh, that might be helpful. Let's click on that link and see. Okay, in Canada. Let's see. If you need to renew your passport, you may have extra time. Okay, but we put in measures in place to employers' health and safety. These measures have affected how quickly we can process applications. If you need to contact us, fill it. Oh, okay, great. Let's fill it. Oh, you know what? No, this is not helpful because I'm not gonna put all this personal information on the on the stream. But I will tell you this though. I will share this with you that when when it had been about a month since I had sent, maybe not a month. It was closer to 2 months. It was close to 2 months. I'm gonna say a month and 3 weeks after I submitted the application. I did fill out that form that you just saw on the screen, just to be curious about where the passports were, where my kids' passports were. I was hoping to have them in hand so I could obviously have time to check them, make sure there were no mistakes. And it said, we'll get back to you within 3 business days. So I filled out the information and they said, no problem, thanks, we got your form, we'll get back to you. They never got back to me. It's now been, I would say, more than 2 weeks since I submitted that form and no response. So let's keep seeing if we can find anything. Okay, so this is a bunch of information on COVID. Okay, how to apply. Okay, so I'm not gonna fill out the form today, but I did fill it out previously and they did not get back to me. So okay, passport. Okay, find out how to apply. Okay, I know that. Check your application status. I did do that too, but if you click on this, you'll see that it's just the same. It's the same form. So this is the form. This is the form that I filled out to check the status, and they didn't get back to me. So let's see. Okay, so I don't. This doesn't apply to me. Fees. Okay, that's no problem. I paid the fees. Updates and related link. So okay, so there's nothing here. There's nothing here. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna search for error on passport. Okay, so there's 196 search results. Let's see. Forms and special diplomatic passports. My kids don't qualify for those. Extend your stay in Canada. Not necessary. They're Canadian citizens. Get help for ArriveCan. Nope. Extend your study permit. Not necessary. Work in Canada after you graduate. Not necessary. Using your Canada proof of vaccination. Applying for a passport. Self-employed person. Okay. Find a package. Immigrate. I don't think this is directing me in the right place. I don't see temporary. No. Okay. Super visa. Yeah, I don't think this is actually gonna. It's just searching the term error plus on plus passport. So cool. All right, let's go back to the passport site and see if there's a button that I missed, because I'm perfectly willing to acknowledge the fact that it's possible that I missed something, that I didn't see a link or click the right link or do something, but I'm pretty, I try to do the best I can when I look at these websites and try to, find the right answers, but not really seeing anything here. Okay, let's see. No, none of this is working. I don't need any of that. Okay. All right, so no. All right, let's type in passport Canada. Okay. Right, so that's the link that I clicked. So let's see, get a passport. Okay, renew your adult passport, apply for a passport for your child, apply for a new adult passport, apply for a refugee travel document or a certificate of identity. Find a form, get a photo, apply for a special diplomatic passport, get certified true copies, change the name on your passport or travel document, reapply due to adoption, a relationship status change, or legal name change, or to reclaim an indigenous name. That doesn't apply to my case. None of those things do. What I need to know is what to do when there's a mistake in my passport. I kind of feel like this is the government's best attempt at saying, like, we don't make mistakes, but they do, and I have the proof is sitting right here. So I just want to know what to do. Change the gender identifier in your passport. No. How to apply in the documents you need to submit. Okay. Safety and security. Okay. That's local information. Dual citizens. No. Okay. I'm not seeing any information. So this is just general, I think, at the bottom here. Government of Canada contact. So I'm not going to bother clicking on any of these links. I think this is the case in every on every Government of Canada website, not just the Passport Canada website. So more information for people who need urgent or express passport services. Well, I don't think I qualify for that because we're not going away until the end of July. So that's not relevant. People who have had a passport refused, revoked, canceled, or suspended. Nope. Dual citizens. Nope. Canadian law enforcement. Nope. Okay. Well, let's go to the Help Center. I wonder if the Help Center can help me. Applying for a passport, completing the passport application, completing the child passport application, passports in general, the e-passport, and travel information. Well, none of that is relevant to, that's all pre-issuing of the passport, not post-issuing. Okay, check service. Oh, service standards. We're experiencing high call volumes right now. Wait times are longer than usual. Wait times are longer than usual. Like, how about connecting to the friggin' 8, 9, 10, 12 things? So this will be the 14th time I've called today. Let's see what happens.
We're sorry. Your call did not go through. Will you please hang up and try your call again? This is a recording.
I think the language of that to be very interesting. Your call did not go through. That's a very old, it seems like a very old way of saying it, right? Like your call didn't go through. I don't know. Just something about that message is very nostalgic. I think I remember hearing that a lot when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s. Okay. Okay, let's check the passport service standards. Where am I applying from? I'm applying from Canada. What kind of service are you applying for? Regular. I applied for regular service. Okay, submitted in mail. So none of these were met by me. I didn't submit it in person, so that's fine. But I did submit it by mail, and it certainly was not 20. I mean, I guess they mean 20 business days, but it took longer than that. I think doesn't include mailing time. Okay, we're not liable for losses. Of course they're not. Of course they're not. Don't finalize any travel plans until you get your passport. And as I said, I clicked on this before. All right, so I'm still not finding any help on here. I'm gonna check. You know what? I'm just gonna real quick check my Twitter feed to see if they got back to me on that. Nope, no Twitter feed. So nothing on Twitter so far. I am gonna just check real quick the activity on my tweet. All right, well, 23 impressions so far. I doubt that any of them are people from the passport office. All right, well, I'm not seeing a ton of help here. Why don't, you know what? Let's just hit the big dog, okay? Dismiss that. Let's go with mistake. So I noticed too that a lot of the Google searches are like, what do you do if you screw up? What should you do if you make a mistake on filling out your passport application? And it doesn't really say like, hey, it's possible that we make a mistake as well. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm just going to log in to I'm going to make myself full screen here, and while I'm just logging into my Twitter account here or my YouTube account to make sure that I'm gonna tweet out the link to the stream here and see if anyone wants to join on the stream, just to see how long it'll take before I can actually get some response. So. All right, so let me just share. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to log into my Twitter feed, and I will sign in, don't remember what my Twitter password is. I didn't look that up. Ugh, man, this takes so long. Takes so long when you've got a password manager. Like, okay, here we go. Oh, it's not really? Okay. Oh, neat. Okay. Okay, I think I got it sorted out. Cool. All right, now I'm going to take you guys off the horrible full screen view of my face, and we'll get back to doing our Google search. All right, so you know what? It's been about 5 minutes. Let's try and call again for the 14th time. There we go. Let's see if they're going to give us any. They're going to call us. 14th time today. It says calling. Oh, they didn't even give me a message that time. They just in case you're wondering, like I do want to be upfront about this as well. This is the pamphlet that they sent with the passports, right? Every person who gets a passport in Canada would get this pamphlet with it when the passport arrives in the mail. And this is the number I'm trying to call. Toll-free number in Canada. I'm in Canada. This is the number I'm trying to call. Here's how the call failed, right? Same number. So I'm not I'm not doing this just for fun. I'm actually trying to call them, and I'm not making stuff up as I go. This is really how it's going. No disconnects. So let's so what I've done so far is I've gone through the whole Passport Canada website, and I tried to find information on like what to do if there's a mistake in your passport, but I don't really. There was no information on the website. I clicked the like virtual chat thing, and that was no help at all, because it's basically just web links to parts of the website that I'd already been to. I've tried to call. I'm going to say about once every 5 minutes for since this morning, since I got back from dropping my kids off at school. So I'm going to say about 8:30. And I've called them 14 times now, and I haven't been able to connect once. I tried a bunch of times yesterday too. I'll remind you that I tried a bunch of times yesterday as well, and I did not actually get in touch with anybody yesterday either. I did get put in a hold queue, which was fine, but I think they said I was the 32nd person in line, and it wasn't even for the specific problem that I'm having. I went with the lost and stolen passport because I assume that at some point they'll have to cancel the passports that they sent by mistake. So, okay, so what I've done now is I'm at the point where I'm just trying to find answers or experiences from other people who have had this happen to them. I don't know if this is a common occurrence. I haven't been able to get an answer out of anybody or out of anybody that I know of whether or not they've had a mistake in their passport that was issued by Passport Canada. So let me know if you're watching this, or if you see it in the chat, or if you even want to hit me up in the comments after this live hit is over. Tell me if you've ever had a mistake on your passport or on your Canadian passport, or any other nationalities, because as it happens, I have 2 other nationalities that I recently applied for my own passports from, and they went very smoothly with no problems in a much faster way. And I'm gonna get into a little bit of that later, about what happened, and another branch of the government of Canada that kind of failed on that front as well. But we'll talk about that in a minute. In the meantime, let's get back to the matter at hand, which is there's a mistake on my kid's Canadian passport, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix it, what to do, and I've gotten no answer from Passport Canada. There's no indication on their website what I'm supposed to do. The only piece of information that I have about what to do is from the pamphlet. I'm going to fire up the desk cam again. The pamphlet that comes with the passports when you get them, and you can see up in here, right, where it says, what's the first thing you should do when you get your passport? Check it. Make sure that the information is correct. Well, I've done that, and the information is not correct, so now I just don't know. I don't know what to do, and I'm trying to find out the answer. Been through the Canadian passport site already. Let's see what else we can do. Okay. So now I've gone to Google and I've just said mistake on Canadian passport. So I'm very curious to see what the results of that are going to be. Most of the top links, and I did this yesterday too, so I kind of know what to expect, but I'll walk you through my experience anyway. It's mostly like, what do you do if you make a mistake? Like if you, the applicant, make a mistake, what should you do? So see, the first hit here is if you make an error on the application form, you gotta just like block it out or whatever. Okay, fine. So people also ask, how do I correct a mistake on my passport? Well, when I click that, it's from the U.S. State Department. So not relevant to me as a Canadian trying to get a Canadian passport and not a U.S. citizen. But look, they've got steps though, which I find interesting. Like it's like how to correct a mistake on my passport. So there's like a thing that you got to do. You got to do all that stuff, and then that's fine. You will not have to submit any fees. This is the key right here, because I paid. You pay for your passport application, which is fine. I get it. But if you screw up, if the government screws up, I don't know that I should be held financially responsible for that. Like, there's $57 to get a kid's passport in Canada. That's a lot of money if you've got 2 kids. Okay, so that's not helpful. How do I contact the Canadian Passport Office? That'd be nice. Okay, 1-800-567-6868. What do you say? It's been about 5 minutes again. Let's give them another call. Let's try to call them and see. So this will be now the 16th time that I've called them today.
Welcome to Service Canada's Passport Office.
Oh.
Bienvenue au bureau des passeports de Service Canada.
I'm connected.
Continue in English. Press 1.
How exciting. I would like to continue in English. Thank you, yes.
In order to support public health and safety guidelines in various regions across the country, passport processing may be delayed. For general information such as how and where to apply, please go to canada.ca/passport. If you require a passport within the next 2 business days, please go to a Service Canada Centre Passport Service Office offering urgent pickup service. Proof of travel and need must be provided. If you require a passport within the next 3 to 25 business days, you can book your appointment online at eservices.canada.ca. A proof of travel and need must be provided. Or travel beyond the next 25 business days, you may submit your application in person at a Service Canada Centre or by mail.
Please note, we are currently experiencing a high number of calls.
Yeah, no shit.
If your request is not urgent, please call back at a later date. Thank you.
I think
If you live in Canada,
I'm gonna say my
press
request is
1.
urgent.
If you live
And
in
I
the
live in
United
Canada.
States or
Press 1.
Bermuda,
You have 6 choices.
Okay, 6 choices.
To declare a passport stolen or lost, press 1.
Nope.
To find out the status of an application, press 2.
Nope.
To find out how to apply for a passport, press 3.
Nope.
For the address of your nearest passport service location, press 4.
Nope.
To obtain information about travel documents or certificate of identity for non-Canadians in Canada, press 5.
Nope.
If you are experiencing technical difficulties in completing your application on our website, press 6.
Nope.
For messages and notices to travelers published by Global Affairs Canada, call 1-800-267-8376 or visit their website at www.canada.ca/travel. To repeat this message, press 7.
Okay, so none of those options apply to me. So
You
I'm
have 6 choices.
just going to press 1.
To declare a passport.
We're sorry. All of our agents are currently busy. Please stay on the line. An agent will be with you shortly. Please note that this call may be listened or recorded for quality assurance purposes.
Oh, it's going to be
There are
recorded.
currently 41 calls ahead of you.
41 calls ahead of me. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go ahead and turn the horrible hold music down. Let's watch together and see how long it's going to take. Audio, Discam. Okay, I'm going to pop the light off because there's a lot of screen glare. And I'm going to just lower the camera here. I'm going to get right into position here.
Currently 41 calls ahead of you.
Right, still 41 calls ahead of me. I do apologize for the horrible background music. In the meantime, you know what? I'm going to pop up and grab my AirPods so you don't... So I'm going to pop up and grab my AirPods so you don't have to listen to this terrible hold music. And I'm going to take a quick break and I will be right back. Okay, I am back from my break. I just heard that there are 40 calls ahead of me now. I hope you can see... what that's a reflection of. I hope you can see the timer there. So I've been... let's see. I've been streaming for 38 minutes. We've been calling them consistently, since then. Oh, there, that's better. I don't know. Can you guys even see the timer? This is I just hooked up this camera specifically today for this purpose. So I don't really know. The rest of my setup's pretty static, but...
There are currently 40 calls ahead of you.
Okay, so to get rid of that horrible hold music, I'm going to pop in my AirPods so you guys don't have to listen to that. And also I want to keep an ear on it for what we're doing. Okay, so why am I taking the piss out of Passport Canada? Well, I have nothing against Passport Canada at all. Okay, what I have a problem with is the fact that this essential service for Canadians is practically inaccessible if you don't have the time to sit on the phone with them and wait. This is not working, is it? It's just not working. I don't really know. What does this button do? They're constantly interrupting the hold music to tell me like how many calls there are. I think I know what the problem is. I think I'm gonna just angle this in a bit, get it fully on the desk, and then maybe it will have less issues autofocusing. Is that any better? This is a really interesting stream, hey guys. But this is the thing. I mean, this is the kind of the point I'm trying to make, is that we're now on hold, and you got to just kind of sit here and wait. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this than having a blurry screen. I'm sure there's a... Okay, we're making progress. There's now 39 calls ahead of me, so that's good. Anyway, I'll continue with looking on Google, but as I mentioned before, there just isn't any information. This is really bothering me. I'm sorry, guys. This is really bothering me that I can't get this to focus. If I put it closer, does that help? Not really. Maybe this is just the wrong camera for this. Maybe if I turn it, get it. That's not helping. Is that helping? That's not helping. That's upside down. I don't know. I get to see my... Okay, so again, they're popping in my ear telling me every time I think somebody gets off. So 38 calls ahead of me now. I'll tell you this little story as well while I'm at this. So the process for applying for a Canadian passport for a child is fairly straightforward. You fill out the form, you get hard copies of pictures taken, you have the guarantor sign the back of the pictures, and then you send all the hard copy documentation by mail. So you have to send a paper application, you have to send physical actual photos, and you have to send the supporting documentation. In the case of my kids, it was just their Canadian birth certificates that had their parentage listed. So I sent all that in. And so I sent all that express post by Canada Post, and I know that it arrived the next day. It arrived. I sent it, I think, on a Tuesday, and it was in the hands of the passport office on Wednesday. So that was great. And then it took months and months to arrive. So a cumbersome process, filling out a physical form with a pen, having a guarantor sign it. And this wasn't their first passports either. I will say that. These were not renewal, because you don't really renew a kid's passport. You have to reapply every time. So, okay, I guess that's one way to do it. But I want to share with you my experience applying to 2 other countries. So I have 3 nationalities. Okay, I was a Canadian citizen. I was born in Canada, but because of where my father was born, I was able to acquire 2 additional citizenships. So I am a citizen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, so a UK. This is my United Kingdom passport. And I'm a citizen of the Republic of Ireland. This is my Republic of Ireland passport. Both of those are 10-year passports, and these are both renewals that I got recently. I got them both early this year, so I will say in the first quarter of 2022. The first time I applied for them in 2012, the process was similar to the one in Canada. Fill out the forms, send in pictures, have a guarantor sign them, no problem. But the renewal was a bit different. The renewal was fill out this online form, take a picture with your phone, submit it, and in the case of the UK passport, it was just send us the old passport and a photocopy of your other valid passports. Okay, no problem. I was able to track the process of the passport application online by just clicking a link that they texted me. They sent it to my phone, so I was able to just quickly, pop in, look at the link, click the link, and see what the status was, whether they had received the documents, whether they had approved the application, whether they had printed the passport, and whether they had sent it. So through the whole process, I was kept informed about what was going on. And this is from overseas. This is to 2 other nationalities in Europe that were so efficient. the differences were stark. The differences were pretty incredible. The difference between applying for a Canadian passport for my kids and a European passport for myself. So the Republic of Ireland passport, they did not require any physical documentation at all. The whole thing was done online, and the whole thing was done online, and the pictures were digital. I uploaded them myself. Everything was very smooth. No paper copies, no hard copies, no nothing. The British passport was a bit different. They required sending, as I said, photocopies of my other valid passports and the old passport that I sent in. And for some reason, I think, is it right here? Yeah. For some reason, they sent it back to me. I don't know why they did that. I didn't want it. I told them to just get rid of it, but they sent it back anyway. And they sent all my documents back as well. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the process to apply for a Canadian passport is extremely cumbersome compared to other nationalities. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's very inconvenient, you know, and I wish that there was a way that the Passport Canada could kind of catch up on that digital train. Anyway, all that being said, I'm still going to look, let's get back to the matter at hand. So still trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do if there's a mistake in my passport. Boy, he's having a really hard time focusing on this, isn't it? I'm really sorry. It keeps popping into my ear. This is my white AirPod is connected to my phone, and it keeps telling me that there's how many number of people, you know, waiting, or how many people in line in front of me. Right now there's 37 calls ahead of me. So it's now 9:52 a.m. where I live. I have been trying to contact Passport Canada since 8:30 this morning. I'm very lucky. I don't have full-time employment, so I am able to sit here and wait for them. But I always wonder what the process would be like for somebody who doesn't share my circumstances. So if you work 12 hours at an oil sands mine, for example, or you work off shift, night shifts at a restaurant, or you know, have any other job that requires you to not be able to be by the phone for unlimited amounts of time between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Time, what are you supposed to do? How do you get in touch with what I would consider an essential service of the government of Canada? How do you get in touch with them to address your concerns? I get the sense that passport errors are quite rare, but they do happen. So what do you do if you aren't like me? Oh, we're down to 36 calls ahead of me now. If you don't have the luxury of time like I do to sit here and wait for them to answer your call, how are people who work full-time or who take care of children for full-time or who are elderly or disabled or in some other way unable to have the time that they need to sit and wait for this? I don't even know. Getting back to the Google search, there's a lot of general information you can see here on the screen. There's a lot of general information about what to do for mistakes and things. So like if I make a mistake in an email address, or if I mistake on another passport application, like what are you supposed to do? A lot of it is, if you make a mistake, what are you gonna do about it? But that's not the question that I have. As far as I know, I didn't make a mistake. Now, I'm perfectly willing to entertain the idea that my guarantor wrote the wrong name on the back of my kids' pictures. He mistook my older son for my younger son. I don't think that's very likely, though, because as I said, my guarantor has known my kids their whole life. And I was sitting literally right next to him when he filled out the forms. So I know what my kids look like. So I would have pretty sure I would have caught that, you know. It's also possible that when I put the applications together, oh, we're down to 35 ahead of me now. When I put the application together, that I may have paper clipped, you know, my older son's photo to my younger son's application. But again, you would think that they would check these things. They'd flip the picture over and see like, oh, this is older son's name, but younger son's application. Let's either send all this information back to him because he screwed up, or see if we can make a mistake. But neither of those things happened. They just printed the wrong passports. So, okay. There's lots of information about how to apply for a passport. But there's not much mistake. See, they say mistake on passport application. How to fix error on Canadian passport. Is that a good? That was a recent search though. Oh, we're down to 34 calls ahead of me. I don't know how they're knocking off these calls so quickly. I guess it's just a miracle that I was able to get in the queue after, what are we talking about here? 9:30, an hour and a half, 90 minutes of time. Like, how would a person who's employed do this? How would you contact the government if you had a job? If you were working at a daycare, or if you were working at a restaurant, or if you were working in an area where you can't be on the phone all the time. Sure, if you've got an office job, this is no problem. You can sit with your phone at your desk and type away at your emails or do whatever. Do what I'm doing right now. You know, but just instead of streaming and so I'm complaining, do your work. Sure, that's fine. Anyway, I'm still not seeing any information on what to do. There's a lot of information about U.S. government stuff, but I'm not seeing any information. So I guess we're just waiting. Might help if I spelled Canada right. All right. Well, we'll just hang in. Oh, what are we at here? Hold wise, about 18 minutes on hold. Last I heard there were 35 calls. Oh, 32. There's 32 calls ahead of me now. So let's see how much longer this is going to take. I'm very curious about, and I'm also very curious about whether or not they're going to be able to give me information when I talk to them on the phone. I will be very honest with you. I did not expect to connect with them this soon. After trying to call them 16th. This is my 16th attempt. My 16th call with Passport Canada at the moment. And so that's great. I'm in the queue now. At least their automated phone service picked up my call. I haven't thought far enough ahead about what I'm going to do on the stream, because I think obviously there's going to be personal information that I'm going to have to convey to the person calling. So I think what'll happen is I will end the stream when they answer. But I did want to just do this live because I'm struggling to picture a circumstance under which a person who works full-time during the day can get in touch with the government. Like, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt. I understand that the pandemic has created a lot of trouble, like a lot of problems. There's logistical problems, there's supply chain problems, there's personnel problems even. But it's been more than 2 years now since the first case of COVID was identified in Canada, and it's 2 years, and all this money that the government has spent and promised, and all the sacrifices that Canadians have made, and we're still not, back to normal or even normal service levels. Like, I'll admit too that I never had to contact Passport Canada before this instance. So I don't know if this is normal or not. I don't know if it's normal to have to wait 2 hours to try to either report your passport stolen, which is the line that I'm waiting on right now. And I have a good sense that they're going to say, hey, you are calling the wrong number. You have to call a different number. So I'm prepared for that too. I'm curious. I do wish I could share the other end of the call with you, but I'm not going to do that just because I'm afraid that there's going to be personal information that needs to be shared. Yeah. So I've lost track of my train of thought because they keep chirping in my ear about how many calls there are ahead of me. There's 31 now. And where are we at on the hold time here? 21 minutes on hold. And there's 31 calls ahead of me. And I've been streaming for 55 minutes, and I've been trying to get in touch with Passport Canada since 8:30 this morning, which was an hour and a half ago. So I've invested an hour and a half of my time trying to correct a mistake that I am 90% sure that they're responsible for. I'm very curious to see whether or not they will take responsibility, because again, my guarantor knows what my kids look like. I know what my kids look like, and you have to write the name of the child on the back of the picture. So I'm fairly certain that he got it correct, and I'm fairly certain that when I was checking his work, that I got it correct as well. So yeah. Again, I'm just trying to see. There is no information. I wonder if there's like a Reddit thread. Still 31 calls ahead of me. So yeah, lots of Reddit questions about. I know that Reddit is not the place to go to get accurate information about anything, I guess. But sometimes I find it helps, like if you've got IT questions or if you're having a problem with something, to see if anyone else has had that problem. But it looks like the most common Canada passport. Oh, here's one. Wife's passport has wrong birthday. Let's see what this person has to say about it. Go to the passport office and talk to them. Well, okay. So they were quite specific about not going to the passport office without an appointment, and they were also quite specific about not making an appointment if you don't have urgent travel plans. So I don't have urgent travel plans. I mean, I guess maybe if the phone number can't help me, I'll have to go to the passport office in downtown Calgary where I live and get that sorted out. But if it's taking me an hour and a half on the phone, I wonder how long it's going to take in person. So that, I think, is really, that's the only relevant thread on Reddit that I can find. Oh, a CTV News story. What does that have to say? Frustration begins. Okay, let's see. Frustration grows at passport offices as Canadians begin to travel again. Oh, Austin Delaney from CTV News Toronto. There was much frustration at the downtown Toronto passport office on Tuesday, yesterday, as people waited hours and in some cases days to get their passport renewed. At 74 Victoria Street, there are two lines on opposite sides of the doors, those with appointments, which are required, and those who want to walk in. Walk-in services can only be offered to clients traveling within the next 2 days. Proof of travel is required, Passport Services told CTV News Toronto. Well, CTV News Toronto got in touch with Passport News Services. That's something that I didn't consider too. I wonder if there's like a media line that I can call. I'm not a practicing journalist anymore, but I was for 10 years. And sometimes they tend to answer those questions now. I don't know. Is what I'm doing now considered journalism? Interesting question. Let me know what you think. I don't. This is not the kind of journalism that I used to practice. This is like that ambush journalism, where they sneak up on the guy and we're like, "Well, you did this thing. What do you have to say about that?" And he's trying to get into his car and he just keeps saying no comment. That's how I feel. If we're going to describe my live stream trying to get in touch with Passport Canada as journalism, that's what I feel the kind of journalism it is. Anyway, moving on. Nathan Doogie is flying to Paris on Thursday and lined up for a walk-in on Monday, only to be turned away. "I'm getting nervous," he told CTV News Toronto on his second day in the line. "I came yesterday at around 1 p.m. and they said, 'No way are you getting in.' So I came today at 8 a.m. and it's still been waiting here all day and I'm not sure I'm going to get in." Okay. Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada said in a news release Tuesday that as COVID-19 restrictions ease, quote, the demand for passports, both new and renewals, have started to increase and is returning to pre-pandemic levels. Nico Ducharme was able to get a passport on Tuesday, but said it has been a frustrating experience. I applied for a passport about 2 months ago by mail. You can't phone in for 20 days. So I waited 20 days, phoned in, and when you phone in, you're on hold for 2.5 hours, and there are 575 calls ahead of you. Well, that's not my case right now. They just said that there's only 31 calls ahead of me, but I'm, again, calling the lost and stolen passport line, not the inquire about your passport application line, so we'll see if that's different. Oh, only 30 calls ahead of me now. We're making progress. We're down 10 calls already every 26 minutes. So it should be, yeah, I mean, if these rates hold by an hour into my call, I should have somebody talk to me. And I bet they're just going to tell me that it's I'm calling the wrong number. So shall we get back to the story? Okay, back to the CTV News story. Shortly before the passport office closed for the day, Deguy was given an appointment for Wednesday, the day before his trip to France, but not before having to come to the office 3 days in a row. Quote, I'm still upset I couldn't get it today. Obviously waited quite a long time. That's okay. Better than nothing. Better than not getting it. I still get to go to Paris, so that's good. I'm curious if this guy actually got his passport. Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada added that Canadians can now use the simplified process to renew an expired passport as long as it was issued within the last 15 years. That process is also available to residents who have had their passport lost, stolen, or damaged. With the simplified renewal process, applicants don't need to have a guarantor to provide their original documents, such as proof of citizenship or photo identification, a spokesperson said. They simply need 2 photos, 2 references, their completed form, and the application fee. These changes are making renewing passports easier while maintaining the highest level of program integrity. Right. Okay, all that's well and good, but I will again point out to you my experiences with my other 2 nationalities, my non-Canadian nationalities. Everything was able to be done online with digital photos. No need to go to the passport photo place and get a picture, have it printed out, and sign the back of it. It was all just done online. And 29 calls ahead of me now. We're making progress. This is also for renewals. Okay, so you can't renew a child's passport. My issues with child's passport. You can't renew a child's passport. You can only apply for a new passport. So I guess I'm very curious to see about what they're gonna say. So that was at the Toronto Passport Office of all places. So I mean, of course, it's gonna be busy there. Oh, here's the one at CTV News Calgary from March 17th. Calgary's my city. That's where I live. By Tim Brutch. Okay. Let's see what they have to say. A rise in demand for passport services is leading to a backlog nationwide and a headache for many international travelers. Some Canadians say their passport application and approvals took multiple months to complete. They accuse Service Canada delays of forcing them to change their itineraries or cancel flights altogether. Quote, I mailed my application in early February, Calgarian Janice Larson told CTV News, but I didn't hear anything, didn't get anything in the mail. So by not this last Monday, but by the Monday prior, I called them. It hasn't been processed yet. Service Canada did not respond to a CTV News inquiry. What a shock. Online, it's partially blaming COVID-19 for the delays. New measures are in place to distance employees and keep customers and staff safe. Is this current? 2022? Yeah. New measures. Doesn't make sense. There is also an influx of people looking to leave the country now that travel restrictions are being lifted. Combined, the 2 factors are likely pushing non-urgent applications further down the line. Quote, we're experiencing very high call volumes right now, the Service Canada website reads. If you do not have travel plans in the next 2 weeks, we suggest you wait to call us. Larson was one of about a dozen people in line at the Service Canada offices at the Harry Hayes building, which is the federal building here in Calgary, on last Thursday. One Red Deer woman said she waited in line for, quote, hours before being told she needed to reschedule another appointment and drive back to Calgary before she could receive her passport. She believed she had already exhausted her options online and over the phone. I see that. Larson, comparatively speaking, had an easy time. In total, she says she's waited fewer than 4 hours on hold with the company, before they asked her to go to the downtown office to collect her documents. The call was answered just in time, but approval cost an expediting fee of $150. I'm traveling down to Texas because I have to settle an estate for my dad, so I had really heightened anxiousness just due to my scenario, she said. I was getting a little nervous flying out tomorrow at 6 a.m. Some requesting an appointment aren't hearing back from Service Canada at all. That's leading to customers showing up in person offices only to be turned away after lengthy waits because they don't have a scheduled appointment. 5 years ago, I would walk down here during my lunch, wait in line, and get the passport process. Yes, that's true. I agree with that. I got a same-day passport once in 2011. and now it's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not gonna say that I'm heartened to know that I'm not the only person experiencing problems with Passport Canada, but I've yet to come across a situation that is similar to my own. So what do? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with these passports that I receive from my kids that are incorrect. So the information that I've been able to gather so far during this 1 hour and 5 minute stream while waiting on hold 31 minutes for Passport Canada to answer my call, and after trying to call them for an hour and a half this morning, is that they're being really slow and people are annoyed, and I understand that. I get that, and I empathize with it. But again, if you read those two news stories, the one from Toronto and the one from Calgary, you'd see that they both had people who had to take great chunks out of their day to either go stand in a line or sit on hold and wait to get no response, to get no answer. And I'm not, to be honest, I'm not expecting to get an answer out of this call that I'm making today. And I didn't make this stream just to take the piss out of Passport Canada, right? What the point that I'm trying to make with all this is that you can't be so incompetent at delivering an essential service. You can't make people wait an hour and a half in a lineup for something that they need, for something that is required for them to go about their business, right? You can't expect to people will be able to wait on the phone for the now 33 minutes that I have been waiting with you here on the live stream. They just said in my ear that there's 28 calls ahead of me now. So we're making some progress. It's slow progress. When we get down to 20 calls, that'll be halfway through, because it was 41 when it started, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. That was so long ago now. I just don't remember. But I just don't know what people are expected to do. Are they expected to wait? I guess there's really no other option. It's not like you can take your business elsewhere. You can't just say, well, screw it, I'm going to go with another passport provider. It doesn't work that way. Again, let me know in the chat or comments if you've ever had any trouble with a mistake on your passport or with Passport Canada. I don't know. I'm going to switch the view real quick. I'll go back to that in just a second, but I did want to just check on my Twitter feed real quick, because I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt too. I don't want to show my Twitter feed on the live stream, but I'm just double checking to make sure that they are still haven't responded. So they haven't responded yet. Obviously, I mean, so let me just see. Okay, so we're down to 28 calls ahead of me now. We'll switch back to the main view here. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to talk about here while we're waiting for Passport Canada to answer their phone. I do wish that I could get this to focus a bit more. It's 35 minutes and 10 seconds for the 35 minutes and 10 seconds is how long we've been on hold. I think you can maybe be able to see that now. It's the Face ID sensor keeps flashing and it's causing problems with the camera. So I guess I'll just leave it as it is. I don't know. We can play some Civilization 6 while we wait. We could do that. But I'm curious just to see I'm going to see again, again, it's a lot of what do you do if you make a mistake? But I'm not seeing anything. The photo requirements. See, these are my related searches. How to fix an error on Canadian passport. But again, they give you no information. Oh, this is. Oh, what does the BC government have to say? Oh, this is a MSP account. Okay, I don't have one of those because I'm not a resident of BC. Update or correct a name. So these are all things that update or correct birth date. If you are updating or correcting your birth date, right? This is for the BC government, so provincial services, not for passport. Well, they have a Facebook site. Good Lord. Imagine. Okay, let's see. Here's some comments. Let's go through some. We go through some Passport Canada Facebook comments. Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. This guy says, we fly out on April 13th. They received our application March 3rd. Credit card was charged March 26th. I seen the call yesterday. Montreal, our first vacation since COVID, and my kids and my family need it. Yeah. I know, man. You can't renew a child's passport if it's expired. When the child turns 16, they can apply for an adult. This is going to... Wow, amazing news. What is this? Yeah, so this is the problem that I'm having as well. You can't renew a child's passport, right? So their Passport Canada says it right there. You can't renew a child's passport. So all this talk about the simplified application process or the simplified renewal or whatever doesn't apply to kids' passports. So I'm gonna, even if they say, okay, don't worry, you can reapply. You don't have to pay us. It's still going to be like at the bottom of the queue somewhere. It's still going to be in the line. Like, and again, it took months to get here. I'm trying to do it. I tried to do it in as advanced as I could to avoid, some of the situations that these people are in. These people? Yep. These people are in up here. Yep. On Facebook, where they just have no, they don't have any information. This guy says when he was living in Korea, he had terrible service, but he liked Passport Canada. March 9th, we're experiencing high call volumes. Let's see. I did everything the way I was supposed to, and now I feel stressed. My son needs his passport for his upcoming visa appointment, and I can't get a hold of anyone from Passport Canada. We mailed everything in February, and his appointment is April 21st. I thought it was clear we would be okay if we apply within their time frame. I'm desperate for a status update, but no calls are being taken, no email updates online is being presented. Please help me. We have proof of consulate appointment and also a flight itinerary. And see, they just it's just this basic fucking bullshit. And this is what I hate, is because if you're going to have a team that, incidentally, my tax dollars pay for, that are supposed to engage with people online, don't just send them web links. That's the easiest thing, not to do. Yeah, why do you have such a poor process for booking appointments? Waiting for a private number to call, and then if you miss the call, then you have to call. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, people have busy jobs and can't just be keeping an eye on their cell phone every day, hoping this may be the day they call you. I agree. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make with this stream. I've now been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes, been on hold for 40 minutes and 37 seconds, and luckily, I can just sit here for as long as it takes to get them to answer my call. What if I'm a nurse? What if I was a nurse? What am I going to do? Am I going to work 12 hours at the COVID ward in my hospital and then come home after a night shift and sit on the phone with Passport Canada trying to get them to correct a mistake that they made, or trying to get information about, about the passport that I submitted? And the same thing. Look at this guy. Passport Canada. I submit this form. 35 calls ahead of me now, by the way. I submit this form, but I didn't get an answer. All these comments make me more nervous. I'm first time trying to get my passport for my trip on April 19th. Haven't received a call back yet. Okay. I've been waiting for a call for my kid's passport since Monday, and we travel on Friday. Any help would be hugely appreciated. We are in Ottawa. Thank you. Hello. Sorry to hear about your experience. We'd like to address it right away. Please provide details. Oh, there's a contact information. Let's open that and see if it's pertinent to the situation. Submit a complaint. Oh my God. That's genius. I've been waiting for a call for my kid's passport since Monday, and we travel on Friday. Please help me find out whether or not I'll be able to take my trip. Sorry to hear about your experience. Here's a complaint form to fill out. Oh my God. Oh, sorry we can't get you on your vacation. Would you like to fill out this form to complain about it? Would you like to shout it into the void? Oh my God. Oh, what do the replies have to say to that? Curious to hear if you ended up receiving yours. We are waiting. Yeah. I travel April 24th and was told they are issuing passports 2 days before your departure date and not any sooner before that. I called on Thursday and the person on the phone said it's not urgent and I have lots of time. It's so nerve-wracking. Oh, 24 calls ahead now. It's nerve-wracking when people have trips paid for having to wait until the final hours for. Okay, so listen, I get that we as Canadians have an expectation that this service is going to work for us when we need it. To be fair, I again have applied 6 months in advance of my trip. So I'm not ragging on the people who applied expecting that they would get service, right? Because in the past, it's only taken 2 weeks to get a passport, or if you go to the passport office and drop your documents off, it takes less than a week sometimes before the passport's in the mail. So I'm not ragging on these people for taking too much time to like not taking enough time to apply for their passports in advance of their travel. That's not the point here. The point here is that they expect a service from the government and the government isn't providing a service, and then when they have a question about it, they get no response. They don't have answers. Can we still go on our April 24th vacation? I don't know. Maybe. What does the passport office have to say? It's been 4 days. And they haven't responded. Okay, this person says, I got an update on my passport saying my file is in examination. They took the payment from my credit card on March 23rd. Anyone knows how long it takes once an examination? We fly out in 3 weeks. I was told 20 business days from when they charge your credit card. I'm in the same boat as you, but my credit card hasn't been charged yet. So in my case, my credit card for my kid's application was charged on the 31st of March. No, is that correct? I should have brought those receipts with me. Anyway, it was within days of receiving the passport. So I don't think the day that they charge your credit card is a metric. I think they're just making that up. One of my kids' passports got sent for examination. They charged my card for it on March 7th, which was 3 weeks after they received it, and we still don't have it. We are now in the process of having his file transferred so we can pick it up, which is also taking a while. We're supposed to leave in a week. I feel for these people. Like, I really do, because they were relying on a service. They were relying on the service the government says that they can provide. And then when the government doesn't provide the service, they take no responsibility for it. Like, they don't say, okay, we're going to guarantee you that you get your passport in this amount of time. They say, well, maybe if we feel like it, we'll fucking get your passport to you, whatever, whenever the hell we get around to it. Help, with an exclamation mark. In the Lower Mainland BC, passport is in production. We leave this Thursday, April 8th for our trip. Do I just go to Surrey office with no appointment? I've called and they said last Monday I would hear from Surrey office. Still have not. Not sure what to do. Anyone had experience getting a passport from the Surrey location? Okay, and Passport Canada says, hello, please contact a passport call center representative at 1-800-567-6868, which, as you'll see, is the number that we are currently calling, being on hold for 45 minutes so far. And that was also the number that I was trying to call all morning this morning. So you may have heard, if you're just joining the stream or if you're even watching the stream. I don't think anyone's watching right now. It's all right. Maybe we'll pick it up later. But I've been trying to call the number since 8:30 this morning local time, which is 2 hours after the passport call place in Eastern Canada opens. And let me see here, where are we at? 10:25. So it's been 2 hours now I've been trying to contact them full time. I've done nothing this morning but try to contact Passport Canada. And I'm still waiting on hold. Let's see. Yeah, I requested a transfer to the Surrey office and haven't heard a word. I'm 5 hours away, so hoping they actually call me for pickup ahead of our trip. It feels like no one's going to call. It does feel like that. If I don't get a tracking number tomorrow, I'm just going to the office on Tuesday. They have returned my old passport and ID and billed me, but said the passport was in production. I'm stressed. We leave Thursday. Good luck. Yeah, here's the same thing, right? The same link to the complaint form. Passport Canada, please help. We leave on Wednesday and my daughter's passport is still not ready. We have called with no result. We gave credit card info to Expedite last week, but still no charge. We were charged the original amount on March 7th, and the passport was received February 17th. There for a second time. We are so nervous right now. I applied for my Canadian passport 4 months ago. Oh, 23 calls ahead of me now. I applied for my Canadian passport 4 months ago and I still cannot receive my passport. When I called the passport office recently, they told me that they have not processed my application yet. My passport was received and signed on March 3rd. I have yet to be charged for the processing. I leave April 12th and I haven't heard anything back. And now I meet the requirement to do an in-person appointment. However, I did send my original birth certificate and passport. It was damaged in the mail, and I'm planning on calling Monday. That's the other problem. Okay, that's the other issue. So I sent, you have to send documentation, okay, with kids' passports, because as we have learned that you cannot renew a kid's passport, you can only just reapply for them. So you have to send the documentation in. So when I sent the passport applications in, I had to send my kids' birth certificates in with them. So even if it was the case that I was within my travel window to go and get them from the passport office here in Calgary, where I live, it would not have been possible to do that because the government of Canada still has my kids' birth certificates. They've got them with the application folder or whatever. I currently have my kids' birth certificates now because they sent the passports back. Getting the passport was not my problem. We applied in with enough time. The problem is that these two passports here are wrong. They're not correct. There's information in here that is not accurate. Like, my kids look enough alike that I don't think it would matter. We could probably just go travel, but I'm not going to risk my vacation to do that. We have to have accurate information. And people, people are relying on these. So glad I did this through the mail a year ago. I am too nervous to mail my kids' birth certificates. For sure. Why wouldn't you be? You'll never get them back. You won't get them back in time to do anything else with them. Just sent it registered mail with the tracker. Passport Canada received it 2 days ago after I sent it. They send everything back to you. Everything was done in 3 weeks. Good for you. Did you get 3 week service recently? I'm not going on 5 weeks. Yeah, I'm going. Okay. So, yeah, like, there are a lot of complaints. It's really funny that there's all these comments. Let's see. 29 comments. I can't see. Can I not see the comments? Most relevant. I want to see all the comments. Show me all the comments. Okay, so this is the thing. Find everything you need to know about how to apply for a Canadian passport here. April 4th, 12:30 p.m. That was 2 days ago. This is their Facebook post, right? All comments. Okay, thank you, Passport Canada, for processing our passports on time. My relatives were worried. Okay, a complimentary comment. That's rare. I would say this is the only one I've read so far. Can you please tell me how I am supposed to get the information on the status of my child's passport? Oh, only 21 calls ahead of me now, guys. Can you please tell me how I'm supposed to get information on the status of my child's passport if the phone line does not work? Our local office only accepts appointments, and it's been well over the 20-day processing. I've even attempted to contact the minister's office, who apparently won't answer their phone either. I'm looking for some answers, please. It's been well over 20 business days since you received my child's passport application, and my credit card still has not even been charged. Why are you not updating the application times on your website? Good question. If you are now well beyond that. And telling everyone to use the impossible phone line or online inquiry to check status when it's not providing any response to is not a solution. If I go to an in-person office appointment within 2 weeks of our travel date, while my mail-in application is still in process, can they expedite it locally, or do I need to bring in a new passport, whole new application? No answer. No answer. I'm not getting any response from my son's passport application. I've tried filling out the form and called the given number. Hello, we're sorry for the delay. While we try our best to meet our service standards, some of the measures we've put in place to safeguard the health and safety of clients and employees to affect. Yeah. Okay. So this is my other question. And this is the tweet that I had sent out this morning, was how long are we going to allow COVID to be an excuse for things? Okay. How long? How much longer? Because it's been more than 2 years now. Sure. I'll give you a year. I'll give you a year and a half. And in recognition that Passport Canada is like a Kafka-esque government bureaucracy. But honest to God, if you can't process passport applications in the times of COVID, okay, so I just got the pause. I just got the message in my ear. There are now 20 calls ahead of me, so I'm halfway through the queue that I got into when I started this. You can see that my time on hold is 52 minutes. And to be fair, I'm not even sure that I'm on hold with the right department, because there was no, if your passport has a mistake on it, press 1 option. So I'm now on hold with the lost and stolen passport people, because of what I assume the first step is going to have to be is for the people to cancel these 2 passports that they've issued. So when I get into explaining to them, oh, we're down to 19 now, so we're past the hump. When I get into explaining to them what is going on, I will let you guys know. And you know what I think I might do? I think I might just mute the mic when I have to give personal information, because I do want you guys to hear the call. So what I might do is take it off. When I get down to be like number 2 or whatever in line, I'll get down. I will put the phone on speaker again. So it seems like a lot of people are having the same issues about getting in touch with Passport Canada. And sure, like I've had to call the federal government before. I've had to call CRA. I've had to call Service Canada for employment insurance, and it's always a huge mess. So I think that this is opinion. I have no evidence to back this up aside from my own experience, so take this with a grain of salt for what it's worth, but I think that they are currently using COVID as an excuse. Oh, my wife's calling. Hang on, I'm going to take you off that while I answer her by text. I will just say, I'm on hold with the passport office. I called you by accident earlier. That was at the beginning of the stream. I don't know if you guys saw that. I accidentally called my wife. Yeah, no problem. All right. I will go back to Opera. Let's see. Right. So anyway, as I was saying, I think that they're leaning on COVID a little too hard for an excuse. Just in case my wife texts back, I'm just going to turn that camera off for a second. 19 calls ahead of me now. They're leaning on COVID as an excuse to provide poor service, and I don't necessarily agree that that's the case, and I don't think we should tolerate that anymore. It's very unfortunate that it is the case that the service is so bad. And I wonder if, I mean, I don't know. Okay, so if the phone lines are this busy, is it because there are so many problems? Is it because that people are calling in to because of all these problems? Is that what's happening? Because if that's, that's, it could very well be. I don't know. I wonder if 19 calls ahead of me now. Okay. Well, we're still hanging in. We're on the Passport Canada Facebook page now. And this is the number. You'll see. Here, I'll pop my phone camera back on. This is the number that we're calling. 1-800-567-6868. We're now, I don't know if you can see the screen, but it is 56 minutes on hold now. And there's 19 calls in front of me still. Yeah, sorry, that flashing purple light. Oh, 18 calls in front of me now. That flashing purple light is the Face ID on my iPhone, trying to find my face, I guess. So sorry about that. This is a guerrilla style. This is the first thing that I could think of to set this up, because I don't know. I just wanted to ask these questions. I guess the questions that I'm asking with this stream are, number one, if you are employed full time and need to access a Government of Canada service, how are you going to do that when you have to wait on hold for 57 minutes? And it's during business hours too. Not every Canadian works regular business hours. I get that. I understand that. I worked off hours myself for many years. And so, sure, you could use your off work time if you work off hours to be on hold with Passport Canada, but that sucks. Nobody wants to do that. We've been streaming for an hour and 31 minutes now, and it's currently 10:37 where I live. I've been trying to call Passport Canada since 8:30, so already I've invested 2 hours in this. And this isn't even an inquiry for something that I would consider that was my fault. So if I was trying to rush a passport application through because I booked travel or whatever, like, sure, you can make the argument that I just have to wait. I've made my bed and now I have to lie in it. But they printed me wrong passports. And now I have to spend my time to try to convince them that their error needs to be corrected. And I don't really know what I'm going to do, because here's what I think the end game of all this is going to be. This is how I think all this is going to end. I'm going to have to reapply for my kids' passports, jump through all the same hoops again, take them to the photo place, get the photos taken, send the passports in, do whatever. They're going to make me pay the $114 again, because it's $57 per kid's passport. I have two kids. $114. And then they're going to say, well, it's not our fault that we screwed up these passports. And I don't know how I'm going to go about getting the initial, $100 back. $114. That's how I think all this is going to play out. If I can get an answer from the person who's allegedly going to answer this call. So I think that I'm resigned now to the fact that I'm going to have to reapply for these passports. I'm fine. I get it. They're not going to be able to do anything without going through the whole process from scratch again. I don't travel till August. I'm not like these poor people on Facebook who put their trust in this government service that made claims of 20-day turnaround and then totally failed and then just left them hanging. I've got the time to do it. I've got the time both in my personal life because I'm not employed full time, and I've got the time to travel between now and my traveling days. Okay, so I'm maybe going to be the lucky one here who actually gets to go on his vacation on time. But the investment that I have to make that a reality is beyond the reach for people who are work full time. if you have a job that you don't sit at a desk at, and even if you have a job that you sit at a desk, it's not, is it right to spend working time sitting on hold with Passport Canada? Is that fair to put your work on hold just to get an essential piece of identification from the government? I don't think that's right. I don't think employers would think it's right either. It may be some form of time theft where you're sitting at your desk on hold for an hour and maybe not getting as much work done as you could. I'm not considering it from the employer's perspective. I'm just considering it from a societal perspective. How many productive man hours of Canada are being wasted trying to contact government entities for essential things that we need in our lives? I don't know. The other thing I should have tried. Now there's only 14 calls ahead of me, so we're getting close to game time here. I do wonder too how if I were maybe to go in French, if it would be easier. Like maybe I should have called the French line. But I don't think that's the case. I would imagine that the people who are employed are taking calls in both French and English. So I don't really know. That's something that I could have tried, I guess. If this doesn't pan out, maybe I'll try it in French. My French is not great. It's okay. It's passable. So I'll give it a shot. But I don't know. I just don't know what else. I don't know what else can be done. I feel for. Okay, so there's only 13 callers ahead of me now. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna pop up and take a little break from the stream at the moment. I'm gonna grab a glass of water because my mouth is getting a little dry from ranting at you for an hour and a half. But hold please. I will be back shortly. All right, thanks for hanging in with me. If you hung in with me through that break, got my glass of water here. They're just telling me right now that there's 11 calls ahead of me. So I'll take a minute here just as an aside. I'm going to stop complaining about passports for a second. To talk about hold music. Okay. It is the year 2022. And Apple Music can stream full quality audio over the internet to my phone. Why is hold music so terrible? Why does it sound awful? And I think I've been listening to the same kind of loop the 30. I'm gonna say it's a 30 or 40-second music loop. It's for the last hour and 5 minutes that I've been on hold, and it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. That's one of the reasons that I turned it off for the stream, was because it's just so goddamn annoying. But when I get to be about the top 5, I think I'm gonna recalibrate. I'm gonna turn the speaker on so you guys can hear, and I'm just gonna mute. I'll just mute my mic when I have to give personal information, because I want to hear. I want you guys to hear the call. if this indeed is the right number to call. And now I've sat on hold for an hour and 6 minutes and tried to get through for an hour and for or what are we on now? An hour and 2 hours and 15 minutes. Just I may not even be calling the right number, because I don't know what I don't know I don't know what to there was no option for my circumstances. There's no what do I do if there's an error in my passport. So there's no way. I don't know what. There's no. Boy. All right, let's see. Let's just poke around their Facebook site some more. Let's see. What's this? And 24 weeks ago, so half a year ago, right? August 14th. Terrible service. We mail our son passport renewal application in July 6th. We have confirmation they got it. Oh, you guys can't even read that. It was just a comment on one of their pictures. Follow up several times with phone calls, and the response was that it's being processed. Today is October 14th. We call again. They tell us we need to pay more money. Unacceptable. We have plans to travel by end of November. Reasons why we started. They're very unhappy with this bad service. And then a cry face. And then it's sorry that we suck. Please provide the details so we can assist you. And the details is the complaint form. Oh, no, it's not. It's not even anymore. It's just a 404. Nice. Yeah, just lots of people asking for updates and stuff. That's really what the Facebook status is. The last post was April 4th at 8:30 a.m. April 1st. $11 calls ahead now. I'm getting close. This is just not working the way that I hoped it would work. I don't know if you can get a focus on that at all. It's hard. I don't know. Maybe it's too close. I don't know. I'm trying though. I mean, you can see that. Anyway, I'll give you an update. It's an hour and 9 minutes. So that's how long I'm waiting. It's cold down here in my office too. I had to turn the heater on. You see the heater back there? You probably can't see. There's a bunch of crap back there, but that's cold. Still 11 calls ahead of me. We're not in the top 10 yet, but we're getting there. Oh man. Yeah, we're getting there. The hell's Telegram? All right. Just to give them the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to check my Twitter feed again. I'm gonna do that off camera though. Yeah, I'm not seeing any replies to my tweet, however. But maybe I will. Hang on, let me see my profile. I want to see. Okay, Passport Canada. let's have a look. Let's look together at the Passport Canada Twitter. Okay. Okay. Pinned tweet from March 9th. Yeah, of course they're experiencing higher than normal call volumes. Yeah, it's still just people kind of complaining. Can you search? I don't know. Can you search mentions? So these people are getting responses. So this guy got a response from their tweet yesterday, which was 16 hours ago. My first tweet was April 5th. So I don't know how many hours ago that is, but it's certainly not, you know. And people are getting replies though. So why am I not getting a reply? Maybe I was too snarky. Maybe I was too snarky in my question, or maybe it's just a question that they don't know how to answer because there's no information on their website about my question, which is there's mistakes in my kid's passport. How do I get it fixed, or what do I have to do? And they want you to contact them. That's what they say. Contact us right away. So I'm trying, Passport Canada. I am trying to contact you. Still 11 ahead of me. We're cracking this top 10. It's going to be pretty difficult, it seems. 0 appointments available within 200 kilometers of me. Yikes. I called today and they told me to log in every night at midnight until we leave to see if any appointments have come up. Wow. Haven't been able to get a hold of anyone. They told you to go to a passport office with an appointment. They told me I can only go to walk-in if it's 48 hours. I put in a request to e-service call me back for a passport appointment on March 31st. They said they would call me back within 48 hours, but they didn't. I called them and said they'd changed their system and told me to start over. Nice. Okay. It's been 2 months, passport not here yet. Can you check how Yang? I don't know what that means. Additional replies which may contain offensive content. I do want to see those. I travel in 9 business days and submitted my application over a week ago. The website said it would get back to me in 2 business days and I have nothing. Please help. Okay. No, I don't, because my government won't allow me to travel because I'm not vaccinated. Okay, I don't care about you. Yeah, a lot of people mad. A lot of people mad at Passport Canada right now. Ugh. Oh, this has been a long wait. Oh, I'm glad I decided to spend it with you guys, though. It gives me something to do. You know, I doubt anyone is watching right now, and I don't think anyone will watch what has so far been an hour and 48 minutes of me streaming about Passport Canada. So, but you know, I'm practicing my tech. You know, switching to the hold screen when I need to go get my glass of water. That's good. That's good. I like streaming. It's fun. It's fun to be live. I'm very concerned about what is going to happen when I get them on the phone, though, because I don't know if they're going to be able to help me or not. So this one has 130. Their pinned tweet has 130 responses. Let's read some of those responses. Here's a legitimate question. Can I request to expedite renewal of a passport for a child after I already mailed it over a month ago? I included a travel date in my application, but didn't include the flight ticket because I applied February 24th and traveling in 5th of May. I don't know that's taking months. No response. Oh, is there a response? There is not a response. No. Newborn baby passport. Okay, so what did they say on March 31st? We are sorry for the delay. We While we try our best to meet our service standards, some of the measures we put in place to safeguard, yeah. So they're leaning on COVID. That's their excuse. They're like, we can't help people, but we're gonna blame COVID for it. Still 11 calls ahead of me. Cracking this top 10 is going to be tough. Okay, let's see. Denise Ryan's. Today, waited 5 hours in line in Halifax. Told my son's application submitted in mid-February is still being processed and should request my files transfer back to Halifax. But to do that, call 1-800. Called 1-800. Waited an additional 4 hours. 1-800 told me that now someone will call me back to confirm a file transfer request to Halifax. I travel next week. This is insanity. I wonder if you made it. Hi there, I requested an appointment over a week ago to renew passports and haven't heard back. I called and they said to wait for a call back. We are traveling in 9 business days. Any advice on what I should do? We're sorry for the delay. It's the same shit. We're blaming COVID. If the appointment's scheduled for you, still 11 calls ahead of me. Cracking that top 10's taking a while. Can someone please call my us? I filled out 2 complaints now. Yeah, right. I know. That's the link that they give you. It's not quickly like you said. It's been weeks since my first complaint. You lost my wife's passport. We are traveling soon. We need answers. Don't know what to do. Are you guys going to pay for the new one? Good question. Let me tell you something, Liam. They're not. They're not going to pay for the new one. And no answers, right? No response. Yep. No response from Passport Canada. And this was from April 3rd. So it's April 6th when I'm recording this. So some people are getting answers in 21 hours, and some people are just getting completely ignored. Oh, we're in the top 10. I just heard. This one. I just heard. We're in the top 10. Yeah, the agent I spoke to gave me the phone number. Yeah, after attempts to call, nobody called. Yeah. Called 100 times. I wonder if that's an exaggeration, but I doubt it. I mean, I literally called the beginning of the stream an hour and 52 minutes ago. I literally called once every 5 minutes or so, and I couldn't even get connected. It's a bit of a minor miracle, to be honest, that I've gotten connected already, and that I've been on hold for an hour and 18 minutes. Now, I'm not going to be one of those, I'm not going to be like a male Karen and going to complain about the whole time. That's not what the person on the other end of the phone is there for. If I want to complain about something, I'll complain about it on the online forum, and nobody will ever read it, and then I'll feel justified in my righteous anger. But what I will do is hopefully get some answers out of them about what I'm supposed to do with these 2 erroneously issued passports. Here's the other one. So yeah, I applied to renew my Canadian passport more than 30 business days. I called, nobody was able to help me, transferred me to another agent twice. I also tried online service to check the status of my passport, and I got a response by email to call Passport Canada. And then they just send this thing out again, which is submit a complaint. Does anyone, I'm curious about that too, if anyone knows what the submitting a complaint process to the government of Canada does. Here's my passport renewal story. So when I renewed my United Kingdom passport, I had to send my old passport to the UK, as well as some photocopies of my Canadian passport and my Irish passport. So I did that, and I went to the post office in my community here, and I sent an express post. It was supposed to get there in 10 business days. It's supposed to get to the UK in 10 business days. In 10 business days, I found out via tracking that my documents were in Australia. They went from Calgary, where I live, to Montreal, and then they went from Montreal to Australia. It took them 2 weeks to get to Australia, so they've already missed the date. Eventually, a week after they guaranteed delivery time, they arrived at the postal service in the UK. So fine, they get there on March 1st, I believe. March 1st, mind you, and I had the passport in my hand March 17th. So that is a 17-day turnaround for the UK passport from an application overseas. Not even in the same country, but I digress. I submitted a form to Canada Post in the interim before it left Australia saying, like, you know, you took $77 of mine to guarantee that this would get delivered on whatever day it was. And it didn't get there. Can I please get my money back? I opened a ticket. I went through the whole process. I did everything. And then when it was delivered, I got an email that said, oh, don't worry, your stuff has been delivered. I'm closing the ticket now. And I haven't heard anything about that. I followed up with them. They haven't gotten back to me. So they're just going to keep my money, I guess. And I'm worried that that's the same thing that's going to happen with Passport Canada. They're going to say, yeah, sorry, that was our fault. Resubmit the application and pay the fee again. And then we'll get it right this time. But then they're not going to respond. They're not going to give me back my $114. So I'm buying 2 passports, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's see some more of these tweets. I applied for a new My Canadian passport for more than 30 business days. I called and nobody was able to help me and transferred me to another agent twice. Oh, did we just read this one? Yeah, we're sorry to hear about it, and then they're going to the complaint. This system is terribly broken. I've been trying to get an appointment for over 2 weeks. This is March 16th. They say that they will call in 2 business days. They call in 4. Then they tell you that there are no appointments available before you travel and that you have to call them. A number who tells you... Tells you what? I don't know what he's saying. Let's see. I've been trying to call you guys nonstop, 8 hours a day. I keep getting disconnected at the end of the queue. Oh no, I hope that's not what's going to happen to me. I mailed my wife's passport a month ago. Tracking shows not delivered. Canada Post says it is. It's lost. Need help finding it. That sucks. That really sucks. I understand longer wait times. I just waited for 1 hour and 35 minutes, went from 385 call to number 18, and when the call got cut. This is my second time it's happened in a week. I'm trying to obtain information to fly with my family. Please find a solution. Oh, 9 calls ahead of me. We're done. We're in the top 10 now. Okay. So I'm going to say at about call number 4, when there are 4 calls ahead of me, I'm going to take my AirPods out and I'm going to turn it to speaker. And then I'm just going to manually mute the mic when they're asking about personal information. Not that anyone will ever watch this stream anyway. I always preface it with that. Not that anyone's ever going to watch the stream, but I will do it anyway. So the same thing, you know, I got cut. I can't get you on the phone. Just submit this fucking useless complaint form and good luck. Although this might be the 404 one. It could also be the case that there's so many people trying to submit complaints right now that it can't even load the page. All right, we'll go back to where we were. How long are we supposed to wait for a call? Is there anything else we can do? We've called twice. We travel March 28th and are getting increasingly concerned we won't get our son's passports in time, especially since they were rejected for ridiculous reasons in the first place. Interesting. Sorry to hear about your experience. Please fill out this form. Please help us. This is the next day. We're traveling in a week and at the point of losing sleeping with worry. We just need an appointment. I submitted an application delivered February 16th, and we noticed the birth date is wrong. We keep a copy of the application. What do I do? Okay, so that was a mistake that he made on the form, so okay. How long does the passport take for approval? I called last week, and I was told it was waiting to be approved. You took payment, and when I called today, I'm told I would have to pay an additional $45 per passport to receive before our trip, April 2nd. Sounds like a money grab to me. Unless I didn't have to pay for 3 of the passports since they arrived. I'm still waiting on the one that was told I have to pick up, but didn't know when. I need it by the 1st, so fingers crossed. Yep, 2 hours, 15 minutes on hold today with the same one song on loop. Yes, that is what I'm experiencing right now. The same song on loop. It's driving me nuts. I'm not quite, what does she say? 2 hours, 15 minutes. I'm an hour and 25 minutes on hold. But that's, you know, to be told my son's passport renewal is still being processed. Can't explain why or ETA. My daughters arrived February 16th and they were sent to Gatineau together on January 5th. Told to call back in 2 weeks. Was told there were 0 calls ahead of me. Music stopped and I've been sitting in silence for 20 minutes before getting disconnected. Submitted the paper for passport a month ago. y'all kind of also still have my birth certificate. I hope it's not lost. That's true. That's the other problem is if you send your submitting documents and you need them for something else, you're kind of screwed because they don't send them back until the passport's been printed. I've called to get my passport renewal expressed and have faxed my proof of travel. However, I missed a call from the passport office. What would the call have been for? Will they still process my passport if I missed the call? I'm traveling in 4 business days. All right, 7 calls ahead of me. We're getting there. We're narrowing in on the top 5. Oh, this is painful, you guys. Again, like I'm thinking of the people who have to wait on hold, and can't just sit at their desk at work and wait on hold. It's an outrage. So we're 2 hours into the stream now, which is kind of fun, and still waiting. An hour and 26 minutes on hold. So I guess it took us half an hour of calling. But again, I've been trying to reach the number that they tell you to call since 8:30 this morning. It is now 11:05 where I'm calling from. So that's 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. And again, I'm not even sure that I'm calling the right number. So I'll have to make sure. I'll have to see what they say when I call. I think it's all the same. I think it's all the same number. All the same number, right? But the options were different. So I'm assuming that it's kind of a general pool. They'll just put you wherever. And all they have is the information that whatever you press in the number, but we'll see. I suspect that most of the people calling in are calling about status applications or application status applications. Hopefully my problem will be an interesting one, maybe for the person who is going to answer my call. If a person is even going to answer my call. All right, let's see. What other Passport Canada tweets do we have? My kids' passports and all the original documents were delivered on March 7th at your facility. It's now March 20th. When will I hear back from someone? Hello, to inquire about the status of your application, visit this. Application status should be available in 10 business days after you submit an application. Mine is over 30 days after I submit my application, but status is still unknown. When I called yesterday, they haven't scanned it yet or anything. I need my son's passport in less than 14 days. Please help me. Waited 120 people ahead of me and only to be disconnected at number 202. Dial back and now I'm number 413. Nobody's answering the status emails. Changing travel plans now. We're sorry to hear about your experience. We'd like to address it right away. What the hell? It's so infuriating. It is like shouting into the void, though. That's really what it is. It's like shouting into the void. You just, like, nobody's answering anything. No one's helping you. No one's doing anything. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going back once again to kind of check my Twitter feed to see if they've replied. They haven't, naturally. Trying to renew passport, but the fillable PDF form on the website isn't responding to any of the buttons being pressed. Yeah, I've experienced that as well. Is there a basic PDF copy available without any of the extraneous features? It seems like an accessibility nightmare, by the way. Agreed. Hello, you can download and complete the form on your computer using Adobe Reader version 7.0.5 or higher, and then print, sign, and submit. For a 7-day trial. At that point, all of the PDF's extra features such as drop-downs, buttons, and even proper alignment of no longer respond specific cells lining up were all functioning as needed. The PDF itself is faulty and needs to be tested to work properly. I experienced that as well, to be honest, with the kids' passport applications. I use Mac during my day-to-day work, and I couldn't get the PDF to fill out in Preview. Sure, yeah, you need to download Adobe Reader, but why would I do that when Preview does it? It doesn't make any sense. So what I did, 6 calls ahead of me, I just printed the application and filled it out with the pen and then mailed it in, because it's the 19th century and that's how things are done. Again, I will repeat that with my other 2 nationalities, the entire process was online. I had no paperwork to fill out for the passport application whatsoever. Supporting documents, yes, I did have to send supporting documents in for one of the two other nationalities, but no photos and no paper applications. Hour and 30 minutes. And also, what if you have a phone that has a bad battery and your phone drops the call? Like, there's so many things that could, I guess, call from a landline would Passport Canada would say, but not everyone has access to a landline. All right. So 6 calls ahead of me. When it gets down to 5, I think what I'll do is I'll take my AirPod out and put it on speaker so that you guys can hear the call when I have to do it. And I will mute if there's any personal information that needs to be sent. Okay. 46 times this person tried calling and won't even ring through. Yep, it says it's busy. I need a passport that's currently sitting in a pile to be transferred to the Halifax office so it can be expedited help. Yep, same thing. Doubt you'll ever get a reply. This guy's, yep. I filled out the form 2 weeks ago and never got a reply yet. They also have my wife's passport with no word where it is. Canada Post claims they for sure have it. Kind of need it to travel next month. I'm wondering if this guy ever got his problem solved. Oh, he's an Oilers fan, looks like. However, he's in the Dominican, which is nice, on April 19th, 2019 though. Okay, so this is April 3rd. This is 3 days ago. Can someone please call us? I filled out 2 complaints now. It's not quickly like you said. It's been weeks since my first complaint. You lost my wife's passport. We are traveling soon. We need answers. Don't know what to do. Are you guys going to pay for the new one? Yeah, we've read that one already. Like I've said, I filled out 2 weeks ago and never got a call back, an email. Passport is still missing. 6 calls ahead of me still. Very stressful not knowing where it is. I understand that. I understand, Liam. I got my child's passport back after a month only for it to be refused and sent back because the original birth certificate wasn't sent. It clearly says copies of are valid. Besides, I provided original 5 years ago in person. I paid $50 for courier too. If you need a passport beyond the next 25 days, it's all just boilerplate. They don't help you. There's no individual help for your circumstances on these things. Like, that's probably why they didn't respond to my tweets. Because they just don't have an answer for me, or they're not supposed to answer about individual cases publicly. Sure, that's fine, but there's DMs. DMs are a thing. Like, I don't know. All right, 6 calls ahead of me, they say. I've now been on hold for 1 hour and 33 minutes. Been streaming for 2 hours and 7 minutes, trying to get a hold, or get answers at least, from Passport Canada as to what I'm supposed to do. Because they sent my kids' passports with their pictures mixed up. My older son's information is on my younger son's passport, and my older son's picture is on my younger son's passport, and my younger son's picture is on my older son's passport. So, very curious to see what their response will be if and when they ever answer my call. Okay. I've been trying to get through to the emergency number in vain. I had waited for 2.5 hours last evening and then got disconnected. I have to travel on Thursday. I've also requested an appointment to call back about a week ago, but I never received a call. This is unacceptable. I agree with you, Ange M. I agree with you. Can my aunt and uncle who don't live with me be my references? They live together, so their address is the same. So they can be my 2 references in the application. Please let me know how your aunt and your uncle can be a reference if they're not living with you. Neat. I put in for an appointment past Sunday and still no call. You need to hire. Traveling April 15th. Need passport for granddaughter, 11 years old, please. Passport Canada, call me. And then again, we're sorry to hear about your experience. Here's a link to the complaint form. My passport was stolen yesterday. I can't get through on your phone line. I've waited between 25 and 53 minutes before the phone line kicks me off. I've called 7 times. Okay, luckily the phone line hasn't kicked me off yet. I'm on hold for 1 hour and 35 minutes, which, according to some of these tweets, is actually pretty little amount of time. So, I feel confident, I guess, that somebody will answer my call. We'll see. Okay, so since calling this morning and always around the 100 person in front of our call gets dropped, we are right now on our fourth attempt. The application was received February 23rd, and I'm traveling March 30th. Didn't have a trip planned February 23rd. Hello, can new passport applications be expedited when submitted in the mail? Well, if you need a passport, you can go to in person. Submitted my request for a phone call to book an appointment on Monday and was supposed to be called in 2 days. It is now Friday. Can you please help me? Do I resubmit a request? I just want an appointment. Why is this so hard? Good question, Ron. Sorry for the delay. Yep, we're blaming COVID. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Like, do you guys buy the COVID excuse? I'm not buying it. I just think they suck at service. I think that's all there is to it. They're not trying very hard. They're not staffing up in response to demand, and I get it. Like, hiring for the government is it's a laborious process. I understand. But you have to be able to deliver services. If you can't deliver the services, then what's even the point of it all? Okay, let's see. Applied for my 2-month-old's passport on February 24th, and we intend to travel on April 10th. Will it arrive on time? I was the 412th caller on Friday. Can I walk into a Service Canada unit and expedite the process? Hi there, we are leaving on April 4th and have been trying to get an appointment for the last 2 weeks. We live in Sault Ste. Marie. Is it worth driving to Toronto prior to our flight and try to get a passport for our son? His expires within 6 months of our trip. Yikes. So there's two ways to look at this. One is like, okay, you people who need your passports now, you should have maybe applied a bit in advance, okay? But you've come to expect a certain level of service, and it says on their website that we will get your passport to you within 20 days, and they're not meeting those targets. So why not update the website instead of making people angry? So instead of updating the website, they just let people dangle, and then they try to reach out for help. And because they're screwing over so many people, we're all spending an hour and 37 minutes on hold if we're lucky. Because according to some of the tweets here, it's an hour and 37 minutes so far, and there's only 6 people ahead of me now. An hour and 37 minutes so far is not that bad. Not that bad. So we'll see. Still 6 ahead of me. Cracking this top 5 is going to be tough, it looks like. I thought cracking the top 10 was hard. Cracking this one's tough too. All right. I'll check my... Oh boy. Oh, okay. Hi, I have received my passport, but the place of birth is misspelled. Can I walk in at nearest service? Can I get it rectified? Hello, please contact Pat. Okay, so it seems to me that if there's an error on the passport, the right thing to do is to call the number, which I'm now on hold with. So, okay, that's the first. After looking for 2 hours and 12 minutes, I finally find the first indication of what to do if there is a mistake on your passport. The first indication that I've been able to hear from an official source, or even an unofficial source, even the people on Reddit didn't know what to do, is just call the number. Okay, great. So I'm calling the number, but it doesn't tell me which option to choose. So I've just chosen option number 1. My passport was lost or stolen. I don't know if I'm going to be directed to the right person, or even if they're going to be able to direct me to the right person. Okay. Your phone system keeps hanging up. I wait in the queue for an hour and it cuts out. Passport submitted February, credit card charged, but no passport. Yep, sounds about right. Why have you closed the regional offices in the first place? Are you guys more scared than the rest of us who work in this pandemic, risking and getting infected with COVID? Or are you some special lot that have special privileges? Applied for my child's passport February 17th. No response yet. Unanswered status requests, phone calls, complaints. What is happening? This dismal service has been provided is absolutely shocking. Agreed. I agree with you, Ndami. I agree. Some hope for peeps struggling with Passport Canada. Got a call back 55 hours after submitting an e-request. Went to my appointment, only 3 hours to see agent. Passport was ready today at the promised time. We fly tomorrow, down to the wire, not without stress, but they delivered. Oh my goodness, you give me hope they just called me to schedule an appointment, which is the week before we leave in mid-April. What a nightmare. Every time I call, my call gets dropped after waiting on hold for 2 hours. This is infuriating. Yes, same thing happened to me. Been trying for several days now. After waiting for 2 hours, it hangs up on me. So frustrating. Agreed. Very frustrating. File a complaint with your local MP. Yeah, because that's gonna do something about it for sure. Oh my god. Okay, call your MP or email them. This is outrageous. They lost hundreds of documents, original birth certificates, and passport. It is a money grab to me. They have to pay an extra $110 to express something I applied for properly and in due time. Agreed. Those documents can't be lost if it's a federal item. Is the Liberal Party gonna? I know the Liberal Party is not gonna pay for them. I applied for a passport last month and I'm leaving April. It better show up soon. That sounds like a threat. It better show up soon. So now I have to go back in tomorrow with the promise that it will be ready. Still not transferred. This is the third promise. How can we trust our institutions if something simple can't get done? I held on the phone from caller 417 and it disconnected me at 178. I called back and was caller 410 and it disconnected me at 32. I am desperate. Can't get email back through phone or get through phone. My passport was mailed. I urgently needed to travel for business. What can I do? 6 hours on hold with them and the call just drops. They really are trying people's patience, eh? Like 6 hours on hold, that's absolutely inexcusable for any organization, let alone a government organization. I'm fully willing to admit that maybe 6+ hours is an exaggeration, but judging by my current experience, it doesn't seem that that is unrealistic. Yeah, we've called twice a day. Lucky you. I called 16 times today before getting my getting through. Still listening to the same piece of music over and over again. Okay, we've called in twice a day for 4 days now. Minimum 400 callers ahead and then disconnected at 25 callers ahead. What's going on? Yep, no response. High application volume. So why is Brampton Passport Office not taking passport? Oh, 5 calls ahead of me. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I am going to I'm going to switch to speaker and put my AirPod away. You guys can... I'm going to lower the mic a bit. You guys can share in the glory that is this horrible hold music with me. Pop my other... I don't need that one. I'll leave that out for now. Those are my game streaming buds. I need to hear the screen. I don't need to hear the screen now, just for Twitter, because I'm reading it out loud. Yeah.
Currently 5 calls ahead of you.
So you can hear this loop of music that I've been forced to listen to is what they've been playing the whole time. Hour and 43 minutes. So I guess we don't need this camera anymore. Hour and 43 minutes on hold. Oops. The stream's been live for 2 hours and 18 minutes now, so still waiting to get a hold. So when to talk to a person. Why don't you just open walk-in service again? We've had to request a call back twice in 2 weeks. I agree. Stop lying about longer wait times. Your agents aren't doing their jobs. They just keep cutting the calls when it comes to people's turns. I've been calling every day and recording it happening. I've sent everything to my MP.
5 calls ahead of you.
This morning I go to the passport office with no appointment. It's a mess. Line wraps around the block. No information given to people in line. I'm now 2 hours in line. This is crazy. After 3 hours of waiting, they refuse to serve me because my travel is not in less than 48 hours. Insane. Okay, well, to be fair, they do say on the website that, but you'd think they'd have somebody like going up and down the line explaining that to people, right? Maybe that's just me. I spent numerous hours on the phone with Passport Canada. I sent my applications in by mail as directed in mid-February. It's now late March. Now I requested a transfer to North York. Still nothing, and was told they might not accept the transfer. My travel is April 8th. Lies. Been hold 2 hours and then it hangs up. Also, when connected to a caller, it will call to my last caller ID I made before contact. Ooh, 4 calls ahead. We're getting close. We are getting close. I'm very excited about this. How can you get your Passport Express if you need proof of travel, but on your site it recommends not finalizing travel plans, so you get your passport? I'm confused. I spent 2+ hours on hold waiting for an agent. I get to spot number 1, only for this system to hang up on me. Now I have to wait another 2 hours. I sincerely hope that doesn't happen to me today while I wait. I just don't really know. Like, I don't really know what to expect. I'm really hoping that I can talk to somebody. Okay, this guy says it's not run like a business. If it was my business, I would not pay 3 security to the job of 1. The lady did all the work while the 2 men sat.
3 calls ahead of
1 guy on TikTok. 3 calls ahead. We're getting close. Get rid of those 2 and add 1 processing attendant. That's the F. It's that effing simple. Wish I could audit. I have been trying to contact the passport office all day because I need an urgent passport. I need to have my file transferred despite applying in early March. What can I do? That's 2 days ago. Need to travel right now. My mother is ailing with cancer. Called Passport Canada 16 times. Was told that an officer will call back in 2 days. I filled up an email form as well. No one called back. I need the passport, please. And then did anyone call? Hi, if you transfer a file to another office for an urgent request, then what will they do when they don't contact us?
There are currently 3 calls ahead of you.
All right, 3 ahead of me. I'm very excited to see where this goes. 2 hours. How long have we been on hold now? Hour and 47 minutes. So that's 2 billable hours of time. So two employment hours of time if someone were working. They've cost themselves now just waiting on hold to correct a problem that isn't even our problem. It's the passport printer's problem. All right. You guys called us twice and confirmed the passport would be ready for pickup today. My husband is at the passport office.
3 calls ahead of you.
My husband is at the passport office and they don't even have his file. Someone will call you in 2 business days. 4 days later, they call and tell you there's no appointment. The circle goes round and round. Hours on hold. Numerous attempts to get help. Can't walk into office and get help. Need passport ASAP. Can someone in the Edmonton passport office call? So it does seem, too, that it's... how long has this guy been on hold? 38 minutes. It's not bad. It sounds like it's not a regional issue. It sounds like it's a nationwide problem. You guys are not picking up the phone. This is already the 4th time I've called. Well, Chrissy, I hate to break it to you, but the 38 minutes...
3 calls ahead of you.
38 minutes is the least of your problems. Because I'm sitting at an hour and 48 minutes, and there have been people on Twitter saying that it's been... that they get their call hung up on after 4 hours of waiting, so... This guy just says, This guy, I agree with Surjit. This is ridiculous. All we getting is automated responses. Can we actually get some assistance? Yes. What's the point of telling people that they can reach out on social media if you're not actually going to help them? I totally agree. This has been my experience with a lot of government agencies where they set up Twitter accounts that they call themselves support accounts and then just send links to things on websites already. It's not useful information to anybody.
There are currently 3 calls ahead of you.
Businesses can do it, I think, because it's a little bit easier for them to be flexible in terms of what they can share or how they can engage. But I'm sure the government of Canada has policies that prevent engagement directly speaking to particular instances on social media, but then don't offer it. Then just don't offer it. It's not that hard. Like, don't say that there's Twitter support and then not give Twitter support. I was turned away by a Brantford Service Canada agent. He told me not to apply before 25-day window or I wouldn't get my passport for May 8th. He clearly didn't want to do his job. I get it that we're frustrated at the agents, but I'm not...
There are currently 3 calls ahead of you.
I do think a lot of this is just bad policy that comes from above, right? So I do think that we should take precautions in COVID times and in general times to keep people healthy and safe. But when those have such an impact on the essential service that you're delivering, I really wonder if there's value in it anymore for Canadians. Okay, so yes, I agree. Measures have to be taken in extraordinary times, but have we really not in 2 years sorted out or ironed out a process? We're still relying on these same processes that we've had for.
There are currently 3 calls ahead of you.
These last 3 calls are taking a while, hey? Hi, my daughter's passport was unclaimed and returned back to the sender, i.e. Montreal. What would be the next step? Can I collect in person? No answer, of course. You need to go back to the old way of letting people come in and wait 4 to 5 hours and get their passports. This convoluted system doesn't work. Callbacks don't happen. Waiting to file a claim, no response. I need passports, not extra steps that are useless. Simone, I agree with you. I agree. I think you're bang on. When the passport is dispatched by Canada Post, do they notify by email? They don't. They just show up. They just show up at your door. That was my experience.
There are currently 3 calls ahead of you.
All right, I waited on hold for 6 hours only to be hung up on. I went in twice and wasn't allowed to wait without an appointment. I have called the number twice requesting an appointment with no callback. I need passports for my kids. I mailed 3 passports together for my children. Why have you guys only charged me for 2? They have all been sent to your facility since March 7th, and that was March 29th. Yikes. Somebody left a message to me about my passport application, but didn't left any info. Tried calling back, but couldn't get through. I have filled the online form twice, over 2 weeks and no call. Have called 2 numbers and was refused help to book an appointment. Now I have flown down to the passport office at $1,500 expense to me, in a lineup, and no one has been let in for 3 hours. This is disgraceful. OMG. The staff here are lovely, I should say that. The people are amazing, but the system is failing. Well, I guess, I mean, if the people are the system, but they can only, I guess that's kind of the disconnect. The people at the passport offices and the people who are going to be on the other end of this call that I'm about to engage in, hopefully, are at the mercy of the policies that are set for them by the bureaucrats, I suspect. So I really don't want to be angry, and I don't like acrimony directed towards the agents who are just trying to help, of course. But how what can be done? What can be done? I mean, people are frustrated, understandably so. We shouldn't take that out on agents who answer the phone, obviously.
There are currently 2 calls ahead of you.
2 calls. Getting close. A lot of people deleting their tweets, which is kind of interesting. Please help. My partner's application was denied twice. We applied 2 months ago, well in advance, and we are traveling April 15th, and he needs his passport ASAP now. If he goes to Calgary in person, we'll then be able to get it quick. Do you have to have an appointment? Nobody's calling us. Appointments are recommended, as walk-in service is offered only if capacity allows. Helpline is disconnecting automatically on callers put on hold. Please do not put people on hold if you're going to just hang up on them. Agree. Ooh, offensive content. Let's look.
There are currently 2 calls ahead of you.
Canada, do not get any calls back. Request was made 9 business days ago. Tried to book an appointment and sent a request 3 days ago. No call back. What do I do? I'm in such a big stress because of you. I can't even book an appointment because all you do is not call back. Because you do not call back. You do not understand. In 3 weeks, I wouldn't have a place to live. I've sent documents package in January, rented my residence out, and bought tickets. There is no time frame. I want to call. Line is overloaded. Want to book appointment. Need call back. No one calls. What should I do? Document package for my son's passport with the original of his birth certificate was delivered by mail to Gatineau on January 26, 2022. Since then, I could not reach Passport Canada by phone. Calls cut off each time, hours after waiting. Twice requested phone call from them. Yep.
There are currently 2 calls ahead of you.
2 calls. Okay, so what's it been? What are we at here? Hour 55 minutes. I've been trying to get information online, or reading people's tweets, or doing whatever. 2 hours and 29 minutes, and I started my process to call them at 3 hours ago. At 8:30 this morning. It is now 11:30 where I am. Anxious to see. All right, I'm gonna pop back in, check something else out while I'm online
There are
here.
currently no other calls ahead of you.
Here we go. Getting exciting. Let's see what happens. I just switched to the big view now. Okay, I got the two passports here in case they need that information from them, which they probably will. And again, I'm gonna just do my best to mute when I'm doing personal information. So if I forget to unmute myself, I'm sorry.
Passport program, hello. How can I help you?
Hello, I have a problem with my children's passports that I received, and I'm hoping you can help me with them. The pictures were mixed up. So my older son's passport has my younger son's picture in it, and vice versa. And I just need to know what steps I can take to kind of remedy that, and who I need to speak to if I need to reapply. Like, what's the process for that?
Okay. So first, when do you need the passport?
We don't travel till August, so it's not a rush.
Okay, it's not a rush. Are you the applicant for children?
I am, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I will take the date of birth of the child, of one of them, and I will let you know how to proceed.
Okay, one moment, please.
And the last name? And what's the full name of the child? And what's the birthplace of the child?
All right, so I've just given them the information for what they need. They've put me back on hold now. Very pleasant agent. I think she's just all right down to business. I like that. And now we're going to see how long it takes for them to access the file. So that's fine. And yeah, no, they took information for one of my kids and my information because I'm the applicant, obviously, as the parent. So I'm gonna see what they can do. Somebody in the chat just says that the customer service for Passport Canada is absolutely ridiculous. Good luck. Thank you. Yes, I agree with you. It has been the customer service actually has been fine. It's the getting through to customer service that's been difficult. And this is an instance of where I really wish my webcam would just stop autofocusing. I'm gonna just see if I can fix that. Yeah. Focus. It's really having a hard time focusing on me. There, that's pretty good. I'll leave autofocus off. Hopefully that'll be okay for a bit. I'll try not to do this for the remainder of the call. I'm a little bit giddy now that I've actually gotten through. It's hour and 59 minutes. 2 hours exactly right now. Been streaming for 2 hours and 33 minutes, and this is the first. I haven't gotten information about what I need to do yet. But I'm talking to somebody, so that's a step in the right direction. My guess is going to be that I'm going to have to go through the application process again. And I'm totally fine with that. Luckily, we have some time before we travel. We don't travel till August. So hopefully everything will be squared away here, and I'll just fill out the applications again. I'll take them over, get passport pictures. We'll do the whole thing. Do what we got to do, right? It just sucks. It's just really irritating. And other people have problems too. They can't wait. Can't wait 2 hours on hold. Do you guys like my background, by the way? My like, ooh, it's weird. My TV. I will say that after speaking to an agent, hold music is a lot nicer than the waiting in the queue hold music, for sure. So that's been a nice change for right now. I'm still on the Twitter page, just trying to see if anyone is responding to me. They're not on Twitter, of course. Like, no one's responding to me. I'm gonna check. Actually, go back to this webcam. I should get a stream deck if I'm gonna be switching angles like this. Whoops. Yep. I'll look into it. I'll look into getting a stream deck. In the meantime, what was I doing? I was gonna go check.
Thank you for holding.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Thank you for holding. May I have your date of birth and the birthplace? Thank you. So, you said that the photo on Bradley. So what I will do, I will send a message to the office letting them know. They will contact you and they will make arrangements with you for the correction. I'm sorry about the inconvenience. But the passport office will contact you and they will make arrangements.
Okay, so they'll call me back. Do you think that I'll have to like reapply, or is this something that can be fixed kind of on?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you do not reapply. It is our fault, so you do not reapply. You're not supposed to pay.
Okay, great. And so, I don't imagine you have an idea of when they'll be able to get back to me. It's probably a few days, maybe a week.
In a few days, it can be an unknown number, a private number.
Okay.
As well.
Okay.
So, may I have the date of birth of your other child? And his name? Thank you. And the full address. So it's the same office. They will contact you. I will add his file number and his information as well for your child.
Perfect.
For your second child. And there is no travel before August 2022.
That's correct. Yeah. It's towards the end of July. It's July 30th. So.
July? Okay.
Yeah.
Also July. May I have a phone number where they can contact you?
Certainly. That's correct. Yes.
Correct. So I sent a message. Make sure you answer all the calls from unknown number, private numbers, and they will give you all the instructions.
Amazing.
And I'm sorry about the issue,
Oh.
the error.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it, and I'll look forward to hearing from them
You're
soon.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for calling. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. All right. Well, there's the step. So that's the step. That's what's going to happen. They're going to call me back from a private or unknown number. And boy, do I love answering calls from private or unknown number on my phone. But it sounds to me, you heard her say, I don't know, I hope that the sound was speeding when she said this, but they did say it was their fault and that I won't have to reapply. So that's good news. I mean, that's a step in the right direction. I really hope that I can get this resolved. So it is 11:45. I started this process at 8:30 this morning. So 3 hours and 15 minutes have passed since I started trying to call Passport Canada. 2 hours and 40 minutes have passed since I've been actively trying to find answers for my problem. And I spent a little over 2 hours on hold. So, but it sounds to me like they're able to do something about it. So I'm looking forward to a resolution. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video about how they get it resolved. In the meantime, though, this has been really fun. Actually, I've enjoyed the streaming part of my experience with Passport Canada today. Again, my intention was never to cast aspersions on the people who answer the phones, or to, make this funny, or to make it, whatever. My point was just to share with you in real time my experience in dealing with Passport Canada, in trying to solve a problem that they admittedly caused. She said on the phone it was their fault. So I have now spent 3 hours and 15 minutes of my time correcting their mistake. Fortunately, I'm able to do that. I have capacity in my lifestyle that I'm able to sit here at a desk on a phone with Passport Canada to correct their mistake. I highly doubt that the majority of Canadians share that same luxury. And so I sincerely hope that going forward, the process for getting in contact with Passport Canada, or any other government organization for that matter, will be significantly improved, and we can at least stop using the COVID pandemic as an excuse for poor service. It is difficult for working Canadians to access their government enough, especially frontline services. Frontline services that we need from the federal government, things like passports, immigration applications, visas, that sort of thing. It's hard enough for us to access frontline services. And then when we have grievances about those frontline services, where do we go? We fill out an online complaint form, I guess, according to Twitter. And I wonder if it gets any resolution. If you watch this, if you watch this stream, if you see any part of it, let me know in the comments, or reach out to me on Twitter and let me know if you've had an experience like this, or if your problem has been addressed, or let me know your experience in dealing with the federal government. I'm very curious to see. In terms of next steps, I don't know what I'm going to do. My issue has been addressed. I am very satisfied with the service that I received once I was able to get in touch with somebody. The service is not the issue, I think. It's the access to the service that is a problem. Again, I am fortunate enough to be able to spend 3 hours of my daytime day sitting at a desk on hold waiting for that. Very few Canadians have that luxury. So how do we improve this? How can they improve this? How can we make this essential service more accessible to working Canadians, Canadians who have jobs, Canadians who are maybe disabled, who can't stay on the phone for 4 hours? I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. But I will say that I enjoyed our time together today. This streaming this experience made it a lot more fun for me than just having to sit around and wait. Like what I would have been doing, I'd have had my AirPods in, listening to hold music, probably just doing dishes or whatever upstairs. This has made it a lot more fun for me. So thanks. If you watched at all, if you tuned in, if you're catching this after the fact, either way, I've had a lot of fun doing this. And I will say one more time, Passport Canada, your service is fine. I'm happy with your service. Accessing your service was very, very difficult. And after going through your Facebook feed and your Twitter feed, I see that many, many other people have shared my frustrations and my concern. So I hope that you do something to address that. I'm not holding my breath, though, to be honest. They're going to use COVID as an excuse as long as they can, and continue to deliver continue to severely limit access to the service. So anyway, thank you again for spending this time with me today, this 2 hours and 46 minutes. No one's been watching the whole time. People have been stepping in and out, I'm sure. Either way, I do appreciate it. It felt like I had company. It does. Talking into this glowing ring on top of my computer monitor has actually made this not a terrible experience. So subscribe to the channel if you want. I'm probably not going to do a ton of live contacting government services phone calls in the future, but who knows? Who knows what'll come up. I'm on Twitch as well. Check me out on Twitch and on TikTok. Links are, I don't know where they are, in some of my other videos maybe, or not, or don't do those things, whatever. But again, thank you for joining me. It has made this process a lot more enjoyable to feel like I have company even when nobody was watching. But I hope you'll hang into the channel, and I'll see you next time. Oh, there, I thought I was not streaming anymore, but I guess I